participating in this session. And to open the session, I now request Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of Bharat, for his opening remarks and his address.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, participants, it's a pleasure for me to be a part of this third summit organized by PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry and other players on a very important theme of this climate change. So now we all know that this global climate is off balance, and since systematic assessments began in 1970s, we are very sure that the human activity on the warming of climate system has evolved from theory to established facts. And this has been brought out in various IPCC reports. And we, as of now, last year, we stand at 421 parts per million of CO2 emission as compared to almost like 200 in 1950. It's an alarming situation, and various studies have shown how this is intimately linked to the global warming. And on the right hand side, various scenarios are predicted for the global warming, and our goal is that we must limit this temperature increase to 1.5 degrees centigrade. We all know that climate change impacts our life, be it health, be it environment, be it economy, and the manifestation of climate change is all for us to see in terms of extreme weather conditions, increased droughts, rising sea levels, and so on. So the problem is already at hand for all of us to handle. If you look at energy-related CO2 emissions, this is a bit old, to a 3-year-old data, but the trends are very similar even now. In CO2 emission from India, we have almost 13% coming from transport, 3% from agriculture, 5% from buildings, 34% from industries, and 4% from other energy sectors, and 41%, a large one, comes from electricity and heat. Now, in addressing this climate change, there are many players, there are many verticals, but one thing which is very clear, that the renewable energy will play a big role in having a control on this global warming. So as was mentioned in the video which was played before the break, Honorable Prime Minister enunciated this was done a few years back, and he enunciated 5 nectar elements, Panchamrit as he called it, for India's climate. He announced that by 2030, the increase in non-fossil energy capacity will come to 500 gigawatt. He also said that 50% of installed power capacity will come from non-fossil energy by 2030, and reduced total projected carbon emission will be up to 1 billion tons, and reduced carbon intensity by 45% as compared to 2005 level. And by 2070, India has promised to achieve net zero emission targets. Now, as of a few months back, in 2030, our renewable energy capacity is almost 169 gigawatt, out of which wind power is about 42 gigawatt, bioenergy is 10.7 gigawatt, solar power, the maximum is about 65 gigawatt, and hydropower is about 52 gigawatt. In this scene, what is now added recently, as you all know, is the green hydrogen capacity. Green hydrogen for renewable energy is a new player in which not only India, but almost every country is engaged to see how it can be enhanced. So for us, it is especially important because Indian market is highly price volatile due to 80% of Indian oil and energies are imported. So green hydrogen is important not only for climate change mitigation, but also for our economy in a very integral way. Now, green hydrogen is an upcoming player in achieving target of zero emission, net zero rather, by replacing fossil fuels, be it in transportation, industry or power generation. And nation's demand for hydrogen is expected to see a five-fold jump to almost 28 metric ton by 2050. So, and recently, a few weeks back, MNRE has given a very clear definition of green hydrogen that well to gate emission should not be more than 2 kilogram of CO2 equivalent per kilogram of hydrogen produced. So this is the definition of green hydrogen. There is no universal agreement on this, but this is the one which India has put forward, very ambitious definition for us to call what is green hydrogen. And as you all know, that National Green Hydrogen Mission was announced by Honorable PM from Red Fort on 15th August 2021. It also reflects the importance which India puts on all the renewable energy sources coming from PM from the Red Fort, and it was approved by Union Cabinet on 4th January this year, and now it has been rolled out and various action plans are being implemented. This mission will facilitate demand creation, production, utilization and export of green hydrogen, and the mission outlay for the next few years is almost 19,744 crores, which amounts to about 2.3 billion US dollars. Now, this mission has various components, various action points. The first one, which is the largest in its kitty, is the Strategic Interventions for Green Hydrogen Transition site, which has the allocation of almost 17,500 crore rupees. In this, there are two distinct financial incentives which have been spelled out and are being rolled out. One is the domestic manufacturing of electrolyzers, and the other is the production of green hydrogen. The other one is called pilot projects, which has about 1466 crore rupees, and it focuses on sectors like steel, long-range heavy-duty mobility, energy storage and shipping. And in this heavy-duty mobility, you will have something like zero-emission trucking and so on. And on zero-emission trucking, our office has put out a roadmap, which is on our website, for what would be needed, not only the green hydrogen, but all the other players, what are the R&Ds needed and so on. So this zero emission trucking, which is a very substantial factor in contributing to CO2 emission, is spelt out, and we are looking at ways to implement it. Skill development, a very important issue, because this is a new game for implementation on large scale, which will have safety issues, which will have issues, storage, distribution and so on. We need to train people, and the R&D projects for the next 3 years will be rolled out, and then depending on the progress, more R&D projects will be taken. So this R&D in green hydrogen, we will look first at the mission mode projects, which are the short term, then the medium term and long term. And this mission envisage comprehensive R&D in various sectors of green hydrogen, be it in production, storage and utilization, as well as other aspects like safety and so on. So a draft roadmap was released in this very hall on 5th July in 2023 on the occasion of International Conference on Green Hydrogen, which was extremely well attended from all over the world. That roadmap was on the MNRE website, or maybe it is still there, where we had sought comments from all the players. We have received a large number of comments. They have been now incorporated, and the final roadmap document will be available in next few days for all you to see how you can contribute to green hydrogen mission. So this R&D strategy covers innovation to increase the viability and feasibility of green hydrogen in various sectors, innovation to enhance the systems and procedures effectiveness, safety and reliability, public-private partnership framework for R&D, very, very important, which is acronym as SHIP, Strategic Hydrogen Innovation Partnership, that will be facilitated under this mission, and centers of excellence will be created, and so on. And also it has a strategic international partnership, which might be interested to many of you. So please look at that. Now, some baby steps have already been taken, and many, many more are in the pipeline. A green hydrogen manufacturing pilot plant of about 10 kilogram per day in Assam, already launched by Oil India Limited. Production plant of capacity 2 kilogram per day in Gujarat by NTPC. Green ammonia also in Bikaner, and 45 kilogram per day green hydrogen plant at L&T in Gujarat, in Hazira. GAIL is setting up, and NTPC is setting up more than 1 lakh crore green hydrogen hub in coastal Andhra Pradesh. This just gives you an idea that how various industries are moving in a very, very aggressive manner to really take advantage of this new sector, which will be really a game changer in next few years. Now, in terms of policies and regulatory ecosystem for setting up green hydrogen and climate projects, there are various things which have been done. The waiver of interstate transmission charges shall be granted for a period of 25 years to the producer of green hydrogen. Green hydrogen, green ammonia plants will be granted open access for sourcing of renewable energy within 15 days. Banking will be permitted for a period of 30 days. And land in renewable energy park can be allotted for manufacturing of green hydrogen, and so on. And how the bunkers and ports will be set up near the ports for storage. So all this tells you that green hydrogen will be something which we all should contribute and see how various players can add value to each other and take not only India but globally this mission ahead. So few suggestive policy measures for green hydrogen. If we want to achieve what is typically called 1-1-1, 1 kilogram of hydrogen for $1, which is what US said, there are many, many things to be done in this. It needs cost reductions at various levels. Demand need to be supported with comprehensive policy and rollout of around 150 billion US dollars of subsidy by 2030, as per the Bloomberg report in 2020. So a lot of resources are needed, but please keep in mind that this is not the only sector which is looking at subsidy. Even the fossil fuel subsidy is also there, even now, to the tune of almost, I was told, $120 billion. So this has to be taken up. And one thing is very clear, that if we have to take renewable energy, clean energy forward, we have to see how we handle the subsidy on fossil fuel appropriately and enhance the subsidy on the renewable energy. So there are various decarbonization measures, and all these things will be needed for scale up, such as mandated use of hydrogen, infrastructure development, and public procurement of green products. So I will just move on to show that how the other green energy sectors are shaping up. And most recent, which you saw last week, is the Global Biofuel Alliance, which was declared at the G20 summit, which was also referred by Honorable former President few minutes back. And this alliance will have support worldwide development and deployment of sustainable biofuels, focus on collaboration, and will provide additional opportunities to Indian industries in the form of exporting technology and equipment, and accelerate India's existing biofuel programs. There are already few programs such as PM Jivan Yojana, SATAT, namely Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation, and the last, another one, Galvanizing Organic Bioorganic Resource Dhan scheme. Some biofuel schemes are already rolled out, and with this Global Biofuel Alliance, much more will happen as we move along in a very collaborative manner with other countries. Other program which is going on quite well in India is the ethanol blended petrol program and national biodiesel mission. Some of you already will be knowing that in 2013-2014, this blending of ethanol in petrol was of the order of 1.5%. And this has become 10% in 2021 and 2022. So rollout of E20 means 20% blending by 2025. That is the mission. And you must have read the news that India's first 2G ethanol biorefinery was inaugurated at Panipat, Haryana, not far from here, in August last year by our Honorable Prime Minister. And launching of M15 program, namely petrol blended with 15% methanol, not ethanol, 15% methanol, and research and testing of 15% methanol in diesel. I'll just take 2 more minutes to conclude my talk. What is the current scene in India? We have a national policy on biofuel 2018, which had set a target of 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2030. And the current ethanol capacity for blending is about 947 crore liters, out of which 619 crore liters is molasses based and 328 crore liters is grain based capacity. And you will be happy to know that this target of 10% blending has been achieved much ahead of time, almost 2 years ahead of time, by November 2022. And in last 8 years, this has already impacted the forex impact of almost 41,500 crore rupees, reduced green gas house emission by 27 lakh metric ton, and rupees 40,600 crores to farmers as the benefit. So you can see that we are on the right path, and target of 20% blending we wish to achieve by 2025-2026. Just to highlight another program of MNRE, the promotion of decentralized renewable energy. Scalability without large-scale investment is the theme of this program because it is decentralized. So it will have DRE livelihood applications like solar dryers, which are already there, but to be scaled up, biomass-powered cold storage, etc. Easy access to end-use finance to increase adoption of decentralized renewable energy-based livelihood missions and so on. And also to encourage innovations and R&D in this particular sector, which will be really very frugal, and it will have a mass-scale deployment. So the last slide, as per the theme, and Shri Kovindji elaborated it absolutely beautifully a few minutes back, that this behavioral change towards adoption of sustainable practice is almost like a mandate for all of us all over the globe, entire community. And in COP26, India underlined this need and coined the word life. This is introduced by PM in COP26 in Glasgow to encourage individuals and communities for nature synchronous lifestyle. And here again there are many interesting takeaways to be done in daily life. Sustainability in terms of using the clayware and biodegradable utensils and so on. And also very, very simple things like switching the car and scooter at traffic lights and cloth bag for instead of plastic bag and so on. It has many, many interesting ideas, and I hope all of you will look at and see how we implement all this in our life. The last one is the International Alliance and Coalition. So the US-India Strategic Clean Energy Partnership was launched in 2018 to promote sustainable biofuel production and facilitate public-private dialogue on biofuel development and deployment. India and Brazil have launched a Center for Excellence on ethanol in January this year, and the Quad has a very active program, and we hope it will gain momentum as we go along. This was announced in March 2021 to look at climate ambition, clean energy innovation and deployment, and adaptation, resilience, and preparedness in this theme. And India has taken the lead in establishing the Quad Clean Hydrogen Strategic Initiative at the Quad's Leader Summit in September 2021. The other ones, which some of you will be already knowing, is the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, launched by COP26 in 2021. And here again, there are many players working to unlock renewable energy access in emerging economies. There are partnering governments, which I have written, 7 foundation countries, where India is one of them. And it has again catalytic themes. International Solar Alliance, which was launched long ago in November 2021 by our Prime Minister Modi and President of France. Again, this is a great success, as you would have seen in the recent announcements, to scale up solar energy, reduce the cost of solar power, and capacity building. So all this is saying that we are on the right path in the mission innovation, which is again India-centric activities with bilateral cooperation with a large number of countries. Innovation for sustainable aviation fuel, India will co-lead this to forge global partnership, and India establishes, as I said, Clean Energy International Incubation Center to promote clean energy-based startups. I think this, of course, will need a lot of resources. There is no question about it. And as per the study, India will need almost $900 billion in climate financing by 2030. So this is something which we have to all work on, and the climate action approach should be driven by 3 priorities. How do we get 100% efficient consumption, investment in sustainable agriculture and food security, and build resilient cities. And you must have noticed, all of you are very much into it, that India's Union Budget 2022-23 announced the issue of sovereign green bonds. So World Bank approved 1.5 billion fund in June this year to accelerate low carbon energy in India, and so on. So we have the Clean Technology Fund investment plan, and for accelerating coal transition program, India has been selected as one of the 4 pilot countries in 2021 and can receive a financing up to $100 million in financing this. So in your pamphlet, you have also shown Indo-Nordic cooperation going in a very big way. I will not spend time on it. A lot of it is happening, and I hope more will happen after this conference. So with this, I think I will close my talk to say the obvious, that climate change is a serious threat to our planet and requires immediate action to reduce greenhouse gas emission. This is not a very, it's an obvious statement. All of us are seized with it, and we need to see how we can contribute to it. Green hydrogen and biofuels are the 2 emerging promising solutions for decarbonizing various sectors. Investment in clean energy and sustainable practice is essential for low carbon economy, and government, business and individuals, all of us have to play a role in climate action. It is important to recognize the challenges and risks associated with new technologies, and we should be prepared for that and know how to handle that. Climate change is a global problem which was created by all of us, which requires international collaboration. And I think with this, I will close my talk, and I wish you all the very best in these deliberations in this meeting, which is extremely important for our earth. And I hope you will come out with actionable points which governments can look at, industries can contribute, and individuals can play a part. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sood, for your keynote address. And I would like to request Dr. J.P. Gupta, the Summit Chair, to kindly present a token of our gratitude, appreciation to Professor Sood.